Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft video. In today's video we shall be reviewing Project JJK by Hadences. Let's get on with it. Okay, let's start with the entities. There's 11 entities excluding the NPC entities. And we start off with the dummy. He looks like this and he has the ability, so when you hit him he will show you how much damage you did, and he'll reset his health every single time after a couple of seconds at least, as you can see. Next we have the grade 4 cursed spirit 1, the cursed pig. It looks like this. Next we have the grade 4 cursed spirit 2, the cursed cow. Looks like that. Next, the grade 4 cursed spirit 3, the cursed sheep, who looks like that. Next, the grade 3 cursed spirit 1. Next, the grade 3 cursed spirit 2. The grade 3 cursed spirit 3. The grade 2 cursed spirit 1, Kogai. The grade 2 cursed spirit 2. The grade 1 cursed spirit 1. And the special grade cursed spirit 1, finger bearer. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Now let's go on to the NPC spawn eggs and the NPCs. So first we've got Kento Nanami. I've moved spots to a village because they are very destructive. This is Kento Nanami. He doesn't really do much, as you can't talk to him. Next we have Nobara Kyujisaki. Very cool. Next, Todo Ao. Next we have Choso. And next we have Toji Inumaki. It seems they're only destructive when there's a curse around, like that. Okay, next let's move on to the blocks. There's 3 blocks. There's the curse block and the ritual block. And there's also this cursed door block, but we'll get into that later. So the cursed block is found around the world in structures like this. And the same is for the ritual block. And when you right click the ritual block, it will summon a lot of curses depending on your grade. And next we have the curse door, which we shall talk about later. Okay, now let's move on to the items. There are 3 items: the cursed key, the rank promotion letter, and the cursed relic of affinity. This can open the door. The rank promotional letter levels up your grade, and the cursed relic of affinity lets you change your curse technique. You find all of those from killing different curses. Now let's move on to the techniques, which of course we need this book to do it with. So we right click it and it will show us all the different techniques we can use. We'll start off with Limitless and 6 Eyes. As you can see, it gives us 6 abilities, which are 6 Eyes. And you can click on a slot to choose that, then click on an ability to use that ability in that slot. So I shall put all of these abilities in here and 6 Eyes in here. Now, if you press R, you will be able to open up the attack menu where you can do your attacks. And to test all our attacks, we'll be using a dummy. And a couple of these attacks are repeated over the different techniques. But we've got a guard, an uppercut, a power punch, a pummel barrage, and 6 Eyes, which will show us all the details like that. And we can use it on this, and it'll show us everything it has to offer. And the effect lasts for 60 seconds. And when you're ready, there's 2 ways you can level up. You can either kill a bunch of curses, or you can use this, which will level you up. Then you can put one of your things in there, and the other one in there. I got Infinity and Counter. Both of these are actually defensive spells. So I shall show that off with a cursed pig against me. So of course, let's turn game mode survival. And let's turn off difficulty peaceful. And now we can use Infinity to not take any damage whilst we have cursed energy. It uses up 10 cursed energy every second, as you can see. And they can't harm me. The second defensive ability is Counter, which will block the attack and stun him. And we also have Guard. Which I'm not entirely sure how it works. But now let's just kill this guy. Like that. Now, let's rank up. We got Curse Technique, Late Blue, we got Flash Step, and we got Zenin Focus. This one will increase half, will make it so that we only take half of the incoming damage at a 30% chance. And the other 2 abilities, the Curse Technique, this one, will create a gravitational field. And if you don't have any cursed energy, you'll have to wait for it to recharge, like I do. But when you've got enough cursed energy that you want, you can use your ability again. And that will suck all mobs in. Next we have the teleportation ability, where we hit them, then we can teleport behind them for a sneak attack. Like this. So we can hit them, then teleport behind them. Very cool. Next we have Curse Technique Reversal Red. This will create an explosion like that. Next we have Heavy Blow, which we shall replace Zenith Focus with. So how that works is when you have enough cursed energy, you can hit someone and it'll blast them really far. The best thing I like to do is I like to combo it by using Heavy Blow and Uppercut. I like to uppercut them, then heavy blow them away. Very powerful. Next we are grade 1 and we don't get any abilities. But after this we're special grade and we get Hollow Technique Purple or Hollow Purple, Finality's Edge and Reversed Curse Technique. We'll put that in there, and we can put Finality's Edge there. We can summon a dummy again. So Finality's Edge is basically just a bunch of sword things. And next, Hollow Purple. That will create a giant orb and it will blast through anything it touches. And last we have Reversed Curse Technique, which will, when you take some damage, like that, you can regen it by using your Reverse Curse Technique. Neat. Now, let's move on to the next one. Cursed Speech. Here, I get 6 abilities again. I'll only be showcasing these 2 right now because these are all repetitive. So, the 2 abilities we have are Get Twisted and Blast Away. That will twist them and blast away, makes them fly really far away. Next, we have Explode, where it will literally explode them. Next, we have Don't Move, which will force them to not move, like this. As you can see, until it stops, they can't move. Next, Crumble Away. This will create a giant hole underneath them. Next we have Heavy Blow, which is repetitive. Then we have nothing else for special grade. So, let's move on to Boogie Woogie. Here we start with Spatial Swap and these other abilities, where when we right click, we swap with whatever we are looking at. If you can get your aim correct, like that. Very powerful. Next we have Phantom Applause. This will make them confused. It's mainly a multiplayer thing because it doesn't really do much on single player. Next we have those two. And now we have displacement burst, where it will swap two objects like that, and it swapped them with an item. Next, Showmaker. This will make you hit them, go behind them, and then smash them to the ground, dealing 16 damage. And then lastly we have Sixth Sense. This will give us a 25% chance to dodge incoming hits. So, let's move on to Straw Doll Technique. Here we get Piercing Nail, where we have three modes: Nail Shot, Triple Nails, or Nail Barrage. That's Nail Barrage. That's Triple Nails. That's Single Nail. And let's see the damage on Nail Barrage. That's 1.5 total damage. Very powerful. At least as a grade 4. Next, Hairpin Shadow Impale. This works with the nails, where if we have a bunch on the ground, we can use this to create a giant cage around them, which will make them take damage. Next, Hairpin Explosion. Like Hairpin Shadow Impale, but instead an explosion. Next, Hairpin Enlarge. This will, when you target a creature by hitting them, it will deal damage to them, like that. Next, Renaissance. This will make them drop body parts upon certain circumstances, and this will mean you'll be able to deal lots of damage. But it does take a bit of time to do it. And it has to have perfect circumstances. And it can take a long time to work. Like that. Ah, perfect. Now it dropped his body part. And when I use Renaissance on it, it will explode, making the creature explode. And that's it for Straw Doll Technique. So now let's go on to Ratio. Here we get the passive ratio. This is where, if we do a bunch of physical moves, like uppercut and power punch, there's a chance that we can use ratio. I believe it's a 10% chance, and that will happen. Very cool. So, level up. Next, we got Swift Strike. This will dash through mobs and deal damage to them, like that. Next, Collapse. This will deal mega damage. Next, Binding Vow Overtime. This will activate overtime, and you can it will make it so that you have 75% reduction in all your cooldown abilities. But you've got to wait for 20 seconds for it to work. So whilst that's happening, let's fight this guy. And when it turns on, you can see all the abilities have gone down by 75%. And that's all for this one. So, next we have the last one, blood manipulation. This will summon a slicing exorcism, and it can do that. And it also creates these blood orbs, which I believe will protect you from damage. Next, Crimson Binding. This will throw one of your blood orbs, and it will bind them to wherever they are standing. Next, Blood Control. This has 3 things: Flowing Red Scale, Blood Hardening, and Convergence. Blood Hardening makes it so that you have 40% more blocking of incoming damage. Flowing Red Scale gives you an increased 20% additional damage to physical abilities, and Convergence makes it so that your blood powers can become new blood powers, like Slicing Exorcism into Piercing Blood, and Crimson Binding into Supernova. And this has a single shot, like that, and Supernova has another ability which I believe, when you have lots of blood orbs, will make it so that you take it throws down a lot of bombs. And maximum output is a Piercing Blood Ray, and this will summon more blood orbs, which you can use on your Supernova, like that. And now, as a special grade sorcerer, you can use Maximum Technique, Winking. This will make it so that it will unleash 8 homing blood projectiles. This is the one I was talking about. As you can see, you can then use Supernova, or well, you can use this to get more blood orbs, which you can use Supernova on to summon more blood orbs, I believe, if it works correctly, and that is. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but let's move on. Okay, now let's move on to the last feature of this video, the Cursed Door. Inside is a boss battle, so I'm going to choose Limitless to defeat it with all my abilities. And I like to set them up with 6 eyes there, flash step there, infinity there, and reversed curse technique there, hollow pebble there, and then all of these abilities in order, like this. And then I put Finality's Edge there. So, Let's begin the fight. It's against the finger bearer. And we're going to activate Infinity. So we can take as much damage as possible without taking damage. There we go. We exercised it. Meaning, it's now the end of the video. If this cow would die. There we go. Thanks for watching.